Chapter 366, The Start of the Duel. Knowing the seriousness of the matter, Lin Feng didn't care about his injuries, and directly sped up to return to the Thousand Blade Valley to report the matter to the War Elder. Somewhere in the King's Land, Kang Chon's trio stood leisurely on the treasure ship, enjoying the scenery around them. They had been searching for Devil Sky in the King's Land for almost half a year, but there was still no news of Devil Sky, and the three of them were very depressed about it. Little Jim was grumpy and cursed at the sky with some impatience. This damned Devil Sky, like a turtle, he doesn't know where to hold it in. Maybe he's hiding in the 10,000 Devils Cave. Kang Chia laughed bitterly. To the out-of-body stage Great Circle Realm is rarely in the King's Land experience, usually stay in the base of the cultivation. Kang Chia itself is so. He was not also closed for 10 years before. It is hard to guarantee that the Devil Sky is not so. Then what do we do? Zhao Linga sniffed with an unwilling face. Are we just going to wander around like this? Right at this moment, Kang Chon's eyes condensed, and he took out a communication jade slip from his spatial ring. Hehe, brother, isn't this Elder War's communication jade slip? What is he looking for you for? Zijin saw the communication jade slip in Kang Chon's hand and instantly became curious. He also had a jade slip like this one. This was the one that Elder War had equipped for the Heavenly Dao Sex Outbreathing Stage Great Circle powerhouses. Otherwise, how would ordinary people have the qualifications to speak directly with Elder War? What is Old Man War looking for you for at this time? Zhao Linga was also very curious. Kang Tia looked very grave, although he possessed Elder War's communication jade slip. But where would he normally dare to disturb Elder War? This was the first time Elder War had taken the initiative to contact him. A strong person like Elder War, since he took the initiative to contact him, then there must be something very important. Kang Tia was also very curious. His divine thoughts probed into the communication jade slip, and he immediately felt a terrifying aura, and he was shocked, so he hurriedly tightened his mind. Immediately, a majestic voice came roaring out. Kang Tia, I order you to try to kill Demon Heaven. Time 1 month later, location Killing Sea. The War Elder's words were very short, but they were filled with a murderous aura, causing Kang Chon's heart to be startled. Kill the Devil's Sky. Wasn't this exactly what he was preparing to do? Kang Chia instantly became excited and muttered under his breath. 1 month later, Killing Sea. Elder of War means that Devil Heaven will appear in the Killing Sea 1 month later. Brother, what's 1 month later, Killing Sea? Little Gold looked at Kang Chia, who was in a stupor, and couldn't help but ask. Little White Boy, what exactly did Old Man of War tell you? Zhao Linga curiously said. Kang Tia glanced at them and said with a smile, Elder War said that a month from now, Demon Sky will appear at the Killing Sea, and asked me to kill him. Heavens, this isn't true, is it? How did Elder War know that we were going to kill Devil Sky? Little Gold was first excited, then shocked. Who cares why he knows? Let's hurry up and go to the Killing Sea to prepare, Zhao Linga said with an excited face. I'm not sure. It feels like things are a bit strange, but the War Elder won't lie to us. Let's go to the Killing Sea to prepare first. Kang Chia shook his head, then controlled the direction of the treasure ship and headed to the Killing Sea. In fact, Kang Chia also had some doubts in his heart, after all. Elder War spoke very briefly and did not tell him the news that Demon Heaven had challenged him, or in Elder War's opinion. This kind of small matter was just too lazy to pay attention to. However, such a big news, after a few days, it still spread throughout the battlefield of righteousness and magic. While most of the cultivators of the righteous path had learnt the news from Lin Feng and then spread the news, on the side of the devil path, it was the ones who knew about it much faster. Because after meeting Lin Feng, Devil Sky had spread the news of the appointment with Kang Chia back to the 10,000 Devil Cave. He was after all a disciple of the Devil Sect, and he definitely couldn't hide this kind of big thing from the Devil Sect. The Devil Sect's cultivation elder, who was sitting in the 10,000 Devil Cave, quickly gave a response to Devil Sky, telling him to kill Kangxia at all costs and seize the Dawnbreaker Immortal Order. This pinnacle battle instantly caused the orthodox demon battlefield to boil over. Since time was tight, and there was only 1 month, many cultivators immediately rushed to the Killing Sea after hearing the news. But even so, the cultivators who were able to feel the Killing Sea in a month were very rare, and most of them were top-notch powerhouses. Of course, some cultivators who were already in the vicinity of the Killing Sea took advantage of the situation, and after they learnt of the news, they directly came to the Killing Sea first. A few days after Kangxia's trio traveled to the Killing Sea, they also knew about this news, which was informed to them by Niu San and Huang Dao through the communication jade slips. No wonder Elder War knows the whereabouts of Devil Sky. So it's this guy who wants to challenge his brother. Really, Elder War didn't make it clear. Little Gold said somewhat speechlessly. Kangxia smiled and knocked Little Gold's head, scolding with a laugh. Who do you think you are? It's good enough that the War Elder notified you. He would still explain to you. HMPH. It's not just the War Elder. When the future comes, I, Little Gold, will also become the War Elder of the Heavenly Dao Sect. Little Gold rubbed his head and said firmly, "What's so great about being a War Elder? If you want to be a Guardian Elder?" Zhao Linga, who was on the side, said disdainfully. Kangxia sniffed curiously. What difference does it make? The status of a War Elder is not below that of a Guardian Elder. Zijin also cocked his head at Zhao Linga, wondering what this girl was thinking. This young lady has heard that there are quite a few loose immortals buried in the Heavenly Dao Sect's ancestral tomb. Last time I wanted to go in and have a look around, but I was caught by that old man, the Guardian Elder. If you brat becomes a Guardian Elder in the future, you can't stop this young lady. Zhao Linga said with a smile. Boom. Kangxia and Zijin to people directly planted. Dare this girl played this attention. Really do not know why the Guardian Elders let her go. When she caught her should be locked up for 1,000 years. Not. I don't know why the Guardian Elders let her go. Under the extremely fast rush, Kangxia 3 people only used half a month to arrive at the Killing Sea. However, at this time, the Killing Sea had already been crowded with people, and the entire sky above the sea was filled with the figures of cultivators. The righteous path and the devil path separated on both sides, facing each other, but rarely did they make a move, because everyone was clear that today they were here to watch the battle. These guys came quite fast. Zijin scanned around, very familiar with this scene in front of him, because back when by Wuxia and Daoyi, Zhao Wuji and Zhuanggang fought, it was also this pomp and circumstance. Little white boy, with so many people watching, we won't have a chance to siege him. So watch yourself, Zhao Linga said with a worried expression. It's not a problem. Our main goal is to seize the dawn-breaking Immortal Order. Even if we can't kill Devil Sky this time, we'll be able to kill him next time as well. Kangxia shook his head and said, But brother, what if Devil Sky regrets and doesn't hand over the Broken Dawn Immortal Order? Zijin asked. Then he would have given us a reason to besiege him. Huh. Kangxia laughed. Besides, the Devil Sect can't afford to lose this face. He must be true to his word. That being said, but there are so many people here, there's no guarantee that someone won't snatch the Dawnbreaker Immortal Order after the battle. Zhao Linga gruffly said. Her thoughts were very right. It was simply a burst of blood. Kangxia nodded and smiled coldly. It's hard to say about the righteous path. After all, I'm a disciple of the Heavenly Dao Sect. No one dares to openly fight against the Heavenly Dao Sect yet. But the strongest members of the Devil's Path will surely make a move to snatch it. When the time comes, little girl, you'll leave first. Little Jin will receive me, and we will turn around at the Valley of the Thousand-Edged Blade. Good, The two nodded their heads in response. Their treasure ship passed through the crowd and sailed into the air of the killing sea. This time, they didn't hide their figures, because they were surrounded by silhouettes. It was impossible to hide their figures. Look, that's Kangxia, our heavenly Dao Sex Kangxia. Among the crowd, there was an early arrival from the heavenly Dao sect, and when they saw Kangxia, they immediately cried out in shock. As early as when Kangxia reached the great circle of the outbreathing stage, his portrait had already been scouted out by the heavenly Dao Sex disciples. So now the heavenly Dao Sex disciples all knew Kangxia. Is that Kangxia? I've heard that the spirit pets around him are all outbreeding stage great perfection powerhouses, and his own strength is even more unfathomable. The heavenly Dao Sex current generation is simply too strong, with Dao Yi and Zhao Wuji not to mention. There's also a Kangxia. The heavenly Dao sect is worthy of being the #1 sect in the righteous path. Its fortune is still so strong. Instantly, the entire killing sea boiled over, and there was a lot of talk amongst the crowd. Kangxion's trio instantly became the focus of everyone's eyes, whether they were righteous or devilish cultivators. At this moment, they were all staring at Kangxion's trio with dead eyes, discussing endlessly. There was still half a month to go before the date of the appointment, so Devil Heaven had not yet come at this moment. Kangxia scanned the crowd around him, and in turn, everyone unconsciously averted their eyes when they were swept by his icy gaze. Kangxia, a familiar voice came. Kangxion's three looked over, but it was Fan Din, who flew over with a happy face. Seeing their acquaintance, Kangxia and Zijin instantly revealed smiles, and they went into the cabin together to chat in order to avoid the attention from the surroundings. Who is that monk? It seems to be Brahma, heart of the 10,000 Buddhist sect. Very strong. Almost close to the outbreeding stage grand circle level, the 7th strongest in the immortal execution ranking. I do see that little girl as somewhat familiar. It seems like the grave robber who dug out the dawn-breaking immortal mansion back. Then was this girl. ... As Kangxion's Fa entered the cabin, a murmur also resounded outside. Many people were interested in the people who appeared by Kangxion's side. Zijin's identity was clear to everyone, but Zhao Linga and Fan Xin's identities were the ones that drew the crowd to discuss. Half a month passed in the blink of an eye. Soon after, a Devil Dao disciple sent word that Devil Heaven had come. The duel between Kangxia and Devil Sky had long since spread throughout the righteousness and devilishness battlefield within this month, and the entire cultivation world was hotly discussing it. It was undoubtedly a battle at the peak, and everyone was looking forward to it. A supreme genius from the heavenly Dao sect, who had reached the outbreathing stage grand completion realm 10 years ago, had fought Zhuanggang in a battle of indistinguishability, and now that 10 years had passed, everyone knew that Kangxion's cultivation must have become even more unfathomable. The other came from the Devil sect, the strongest genius of the Devil Sex generation. Devil Sky was at the outbreathing stage Great Circle realm as soon as he came out of the world, and then swept through the Land of Kings, defeating Zijin, who was #1 on the Immortal Exorcism ranking, and making a strong ascent to the top. This is undoubtedly a battle between dragons and tigers. Who wins and who loses? No one dares to determine, only to wait and see. The killing sea that had already been boiling over, today was deterred by a shocking long whistle, and in everyone's gaze, Demon Heaven marched in on a black demonic dragon. He was like a devil god who descended from the heavenly realm. Clad in a black battle robe, with long black hair draped over his shoulders, inspired by the wind setting off a wave of ink, the black demonic dragon under his feet roared up to the sky, and finally transformed into a wisp of black demonic chair that surrounded his body, making him look eerie and full of oppression. In Devil Heaven's hand, he held a pitch-black devil blade that exuded a gloomy killing aura. The blade was incomparably dark, as if it engulfed the surrounding light, causing the surrounding void to tremble. a top-grade treasure weapon. Among the crowd, some discerning powerhouses cried out in shock. This black devil blade of devil heavens was a very powerful upper-grade treasure weapon, even close to an extreme treasure weapon, with extraordinary power, much more powerful than a normal upper-grade treasure weapon. In the positive devil battlefield, treasure weapons were very common, but they were mostly lower-grade treasure weapons. Middle-grade treasure weapons were rare. Upper-grade treasure weapons were even rarer. And extreme-grade treasure weapons could only be possessed by some super powerhouses in the divine separation stage. Therefore, even supreme geniuses like Dao Yi, Zhao Wuji, and Demon Heaven only held upper-grade treasure weapons.